and gentlemen, and welcome to the Florida Academy Cup Series and the Rebel Racing Network. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and I am joined in the booth by Hunter Geyer. We are coming to you live from Dover Motor Speedway, the Monster Mile, a 1-mile concrete oval located in Dover, Delaware, where these drivers will compete for 200 laps in the My World of Whiskey 200. The weather tonight is 78 degrees, partly cloudy. The track temperature is sitting at a whopping 109, and it is slick out there. We've seen already seen a couple of incidents in the practice session, and we've received word from Tyler Green already that the tires are going to be the main concern tonight. We will have stage breaks at laps 60 and 125. And the pit rules for tonight: these drivers are going to be given 5 sets of tires, 60% fuel, and no quick repairs to get this one done. And the pit window looking to be about 50 to 56 laps. And we do have a lot of money on the line tonight. The purse total is sitting at $230 tonight, so these drivers going to be pushing it hard, trying to take home that money between the team payout and the driver payout. Everyone going to be looking to put on their best performance as tonight goes on. And once again, this broadcast is brought to you by My World of Whiskey, the most comprehensive mobile app every serious bourbon collector should have on their phone. Founded by a collector who started, like most of us, tracking his bottles in a spreadsheet, My World of Whiskey grew into the most complete tool on the market for managing a real collection, built bourbon-first with deep support for rye, Scotch, Irish, Japanese, and Canadian whiskey. Over 10,000 bottles in a hand-curated database that grows daily. Barcode scanning and spreadsheet bulk upload to add bottles in seconds, full purchase tracking with dates, locations, and prices, collection analytics that give you the complete picture of your shelf. If you're serious about your bourbon, you need this app. Use promo code RACE25 to receive a 25% discount through the website www.myworldofwhiskey.com. A big thanks to My World of Whiskey for sponsoring today's race. Now let's get back to the racing. And a quick update on our current standings. Brian Macklin has taken over the leaderboard throughout practice with a best time of 22.82, but he is tied with Seth LaCroix, driver of the number 89. And then they do have Christian Rhodes hot on their tail with 22.85. So it looks like going to be a lot of close racing tonight, and a lot of people trying to take home that purse here.
All right, Austin, I'm back in the booth. I'm sorry I did your race control stuff.
All right, I completely understand. Hunter Geyer over here pulling double duty here tonight. And we do have a couple of talking points as well. So the Barbasol Bandit Dalton Gregson, he was absent last week at Nashville Super Speedway. He's going to make his return here tonight. And Hunter, I am aware that we do have a new team joining us. I'll let you take that one since you are part of that team over in ERA.
Yep, Door to Door Racing has decided to join forces again over here in Viscera. They didn't bring me along, which is, kind of a pain, but I get it. I can't do 3 things at once. I can't drive, race control, and broadcast at the same time, so I get it. But Tristan, Haynes, and Mike Hill teaming up once again. As everyone's seen them racing in ERA, TCR, and multiple different leagues in the past. They work really good together, and even them being separate teams the past 2 weeks. They still are constantly talking with each other, so they were working as a team regardless. They just made it official tonight with that team charter.
All right, and excited to have the new team on board. And, Jim Racing mutually agreed to part ways with Tristan Haynes so he can go to door. And to fill out their team, Jim Racing is going to sign Chet Sellers to a full-time driver position. And then speaking of Tristan Haynes changing teams, that rivalry is reaching a boiling point between Tristan Haynes and Nicholas Warner after they have gotten into it with each other 2 weeks in a row. And sounds like some of it has spilled over to the Discord as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as the race goes on. And then update on our league owner, Tyler Green, is the first non-team SDR driver in the point standings, currently sitting in P4. But SDR is running away with the points here tonight. So, and then we do have the question posed to us, can Trevor Yates manage to not wreck in stage 1 and finish a race? So we'll be keeping an eye on him to see if he can make it through stage 1. And we got a couple other drivers still trying to make their way through stage 1 as well. I think this is going to be a tough one to try and get through the stages and just survive to the end, especially with those the lack of fast repairs here tonight.
Really, this track, is super treacherous, and no matter what car you're in, it just, this track, as a driver, it seems like it wants to kill you every chance it gets. It's very difficult on tires with it being, that concrete surface. Coming out of turn 2, turn 4, super treacherous. That wall can come up super fast. You think you're going to make the corner, and all of a sudden your right side is into that wall and you have yourself wheel damage. And with no fast repair, it's going to be tough to repair. Short track, smaller caution laps, tough to fix that issue. And now just scrolling through, initial qualifying laps, Trevor Yates was brought up as not making it past the first stage in the past couple races. I'm watching his qualifying lap now. He's spun coming out of pit road. So his luck, obviously, not on his good side already, for this race. But yeah, it's, it's going to be treacherous for these guys. And with this, narrowness of this track, you have walls on both sides of you. And as race control, I brought this up to the drivers, like a small wreck can turn into a huge wreck and collect the entire field. It could totally lock up both straightaways. And if you're starting in the back, it's tough to avoid them. So, getting a good qualifying lap is going to be key tonight.
All right, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. And yeah, we just had Madeline Jackson on track. She's sitting P12 right now. But our top 2 right now, Alan Hess and Seth LaCroix. LaCroix was fast throughout practice, but Alan Hess, a whopping 22.83. Kind of coming out of nowhere here. Let's look at Dawson Price here on track now for qualifying.
So, Austin, I have to ask, it's obviously early, but do you have a pick for tonight?
Ooh, man, I don't even know if I want to go ahead and throw out a pick. My picks have not done well, and I'd really hate for one of those drivers to finally get mad at me for jinxing them. But if I had to go with a pick tonight, I think I'm going to keep my eye on that 14 of Alan Hess here. A very strong qualifying run, and we'll see what he can do once the green flag drops.
Absolutely. Now, personally, I don't want to have a pick either. However, I will say I want something out of the Ford or the Chevys. This season has kind of followed the regular NASCAR season with Toyotas being pretty dominant early. So honestly, I don't care who it is. If they are in a Chevy or a Ford, let's get this, manufacturer rivalry started and catch up to these Toyotas.
Well, and it sounds like you're going to get a whole team mad at you here if they run into trouble. But looking at our qualifying standings, the Chevys are dominating the top 5 right now.
I think they've had a good luck with stage points. I think stage points has definitely helped, but they haven't been able to finish in that top spot yet. It's been dominated by Toyotas with the double victory, our first 2 races, and again another Toyota from the same team at Nashville. So yeah, it's again points perfect, but of course we want to bring home a couple W's as well.
All right, and currently looking at Michael Prince. here on track. First lap, not what he's looking for, and that's not going to help getting loose and up into that outside wall coming through turns 3 and 4. So costly mistake by Michael Prince. And yeah, Trevor Yates just finishing up his run. Yeah, I know you mentioned he's coming off of pit road earlier, but he's able to recover, get a top 4 time for the time being. But going through it, it looks like we still have about looks to be about 15 cars left to qualify here that have not laid down a lap.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if the track temp has gone down a bit. So track temperature looking now is 104 degrees. So that is a pretty hot track. And that's not going to help the tires at all. So, it's going to be interesting to see, how different the race conditions are to qualifying. But qualifying, it's treacherous right now. But, I'm thinking the track got cooler because, as I'm saying that, Trevor Quisenberry just laying down a heater of a lap.
All right, and I just got a look at that, 22.80. Just take a quick look at the weather here, pulling that up on screen for you. And it does appear that the air temperature has already dropped a degree down to 77 from 78. Still got the partly cloudy skies, so maybe those clouds moving in, throwing a little bit more shade over the track, going to help these drivers out.
Yeah, I have noticed track temperature go down. That's obviously going to help more grip, and I think that is the big indicator of why qualifying times have also improved.
Yep, and going through the qualifying list, it looks like some of these drivers definitely paying attention to the weather here as this one goes on. Still appears about 10 drivers left to lay down a lap here in qualifying, and we currently do have about 3 minutes left, and I've seen a couple more of them pull out now.
So, I will, say, from just talking to Discord today, there are some drivers that, are saying, I don't even want to pit. Personally, pit, they don't want to qualify. Personally, I don't think that's a good decision just because of how treacherous this track can be with accidents. Again, a small accident can turn into something huge just by blocking off the track. And unless you're slamming on your brakes, which causes issues for someone behind you, and you're going to have an Arcos braking situation, like it's, if it were me out there driving right now, I would want to qualify as high as possible. Personally, I'd want the inside row, just to make sure you're not getting out into the outside wall. So I'd want to be up front on the inside and try to stay out of all the issues that guaranteed are going to show up tonight.
All right, and I think I'm actually going to disagree with your strategy there, Hunter. We do have 200 laps. It is a long race. I think some of these drivers can definitely benefit from opting out of qualifying, starting from the back, and just bringing up the rear of the field at 22 seconds per lap, 22 to 23 seconds. And how treacherous it appears to be out there, I think they have an opportunity to hang around in the back and even lose the pack for the first half of this race and avoid those major incidents that can happen. Give yourself a lot of time to get those cars slowed down. I think we let that attrition set in, and we could see some drivers that we haven't seen up front throughout the season make their way to the front towards the end of this one if they were to hang out in the back.
Again, I tell you what, I will, I'll pick a driver up front and you can pick a driver in the back, and you want a little friendly broadcaster competition to see, you wanted to see who does better?
Oh man, that sounds like a recipe for trouble here when it comes to the relationship between the drivers and the broadcasters. But I tell you what.
Again, just randomized pick. I'll do top 5. You can do 30 to 20 or 30 to 26 if you want. Just close your eyes and pick. But I don't know, man. I think it'd be tough. It's you can lay in the back, but it is a smaller track, and you could be lapped as well. It depends how far you can stay back and your ability to just be careful. And it's anything could happen. I have been told as racing control, automatic cautions have been reactivated tonight, so there's probably not going to be as many issues as we saw, last week in Nashville with, the caution not being thrown and race control not doing its job. But it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do. Yeah. Now, before they grid up, I did also want to say, Trevor Quisenberry looks like he did get the pole award. He was not in the race last week because he forgot what time the race started. So it looks like some redemption for him this week.
All right, and definitely looks like he's going to be looking for redemption here tonight. And they're going to go ahead and start gridding up now. So real quick, we are going to go ahead and run through the official starting grid, and I'm going to try and not lose my breath here. So once again, we do have Trevor Quisenberry taking the Vermont Diecast Pole Award, the best diecast store on Whatnot. He's going to take away those $5 for the pole position. To his outside will be Alan Hess driving the number 14. Dylan Picklesheimer will roll off third, driving the number 23. In fourth place, we have Brian Macklin driving the number 30. Corey Rainey will start to the inside of row 3, and fifth, driving the number 4 machine. In sixth, we have Daniel Holloway driving the number 21. Seth LaCroix will roll off seventh, driving the number 89. Christian Rhodes in eighth, driving the number 1. Al Likens will start ninth, driving the 20. I think this is the first race he's been in where he hasn't taken home that Vermont Diecast Pole Award. Trevor Yates will be starting 10th, driving the number 10 machine. Dawson Price will roll off 11th, driving the number 71. Corey Yoakum will start 12th, driving the number 5. 13th will be Tristan Haynes driving the number 60. Storm Strube will start 14th, driving the number 45 machine. Jeremiah Nelson in 15th, driving the number 46. 16th will be Dalton Gregson driving the number 17. Thomas Lavierde will start 17th, driving the number 54. Fred Pennington will start 18th, driving the 988 car. That's a big number. Richard Smith will roll off 19th, driving the number 2 machine. Michael Prince in 20th, driving the number 32. Josh Edmonds will start 21st, driving the number 3 machine. In 22nd, we have Chet Sellers driving the number 9. Dave Mayberry will start 23rd, driving the number 29. Stephen Alessi in 24th, driving the number 8 machine. Rolling off 25th will be Eric Rodeman driving the number 96. Joshua Riddle will start 26th, driving the number 12 machine. And 27th will be Rob Robertson driving the number 31. Madeline Jackson will start 28th, driving the number 88. Mike Hill will start 29th, driving the number 27. And 30th, we have Nicholas Warner driving the number 7. Dalton Gregson will start 31st, driving the number 28. Jason Werbeska is going to roll off 32nd, driving the number 67 machine. Tyler Green opted out of qualifying. He will start 33rd, driving the number 77 machine. Wesley Carter will start 34th, driving the number 990 machine. And rounding out your field in 35th will be Tyler Hurt, a driver of the number 18 machine, as they've made their way on track for their pace lap. And I tell you what, Hunter, if we're going to do that competition, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go ahead and choose Mike Hill in that Enchanted Oaks RV Park Ford Mustang. I think we've seen him do this multiple times. I think he's going to be one to keep an eye on starting in the back. And the pace car's off. We are underway. Trevor Quisenberry leading them to the green flag. He's going to get out in front of Alan Hess really quickly. And Dylan Picklesheimer getting to the inside of Hess as they go down the backstretch 2 by 2. And looks like most of the top 10 going to get it sorted out single file here early on. And we do have some fans in the chat. Conrady is cheering on the 96 of Eric Rodeman. Sports Crazy Boy asking what is on the 21 car's paint scheme. That's Daniel Holloway. He's at... Oh, caution. We are under caution here. Looks like Rob Robertson, Nicholas Warner caught up in this. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened here. Robertson in that 33, and you see him. He gets loose all by himself, and he's going to come down the track, and he's going to collect Nicholas Warner, and looks like Tyler Green going to catch a piece of that as well.
Apologize for the no interaction for me, but race control took precedence there. Looks like Corey Yoakum taking responsibility for that one. Just got loose, it looks like.
Hey, Corey Yoakum?
That is who took responsibility in EOL. The EOL. He said it was his issue that caused it.
All right, and oh. So, Hunter, I think you may not need to throw that EOL at Corey Yoakum. We just looked at the replay. He did get loose. It got a shot in the back from the 60 there, but those two that was not a part of the wreck there.
Give me 1 sec.
All right, and race control duty is going to call Hunter Geyer. And Joseph Lewis, quoting one of the all-time greats of the sport, Lightning McQueen, up in the chat. And some more Rodman fans entering as well. We'll go back here, and we did have the question about the 21 paint scheme of Daniel Holloway. And Daniel Holloway, that is a Florida Academy paint scheme, at least on the quarter panel. Go ahead, get a better look at his nose. That is a Gator out on track. Dalton Gregson. That's what he was talking about with the Gator. So, that is a pretty cool paint scheme on the Daniel Holloway car. And the
all right, so sorry about that. Looks like it was a race control issue. Lots of drivers talking at once, and Yoakum took it on the chin there. So that is an apology from me. That I feel real bad about that one.
All right, and unfortunately, it sounds like the it was already decided that he was going to get the EOL there because he took ownership.
Yeah, there was. I asked who was at fault over race broadcast, and Corey was like, "Hey, that's my fault." So, naturally, I just went straight to him. That's going to be, I guess, a bit of confusion on my part. Hopefully, we can go back in after the race and fix him up here.
All right, and it sounds like Rob Robertson going to have to buy him a pint at the Wicked Pub. But the pace car is off, and they're making their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And the green flag is back out. It looks like Trevor Quisenberry going to get the jump starting from the outside line this time. Interesting after he definitely looks solid on the starting from the inside, but he definitely knows what he's doing as he opens up that gap really quickly. And keep your eye on Dylan Picklesheimer here. He is moving to the outside of Brian Macklin. Macklin shutting the door. Picklesheimer going to go to the inside now. We'll see what he can do down there. Picklesheimer getting alongside of him, but I think Macklin's going to get the run down the backstretch. And it looks like they will get it sorted out for the time being. And we'll check in.
Oh, some trouble off to 4 there. Number 14 got a little loose out of turn 4.
All right, and was that the car that was sitting there? Saw a car dropping to the inside, was out of shape as well.
It looks like the number 14 of Alan Hess got a little loose there coming out of the corner. And he did save it, but man, that was sketchy.
Yeah, but that did look like the 14 of Alan Hess that we were looking at on screen as well. And then Joseph Lewis entering the chat. A little bit of college football rivalry. Seminoles greater than the Gators. But college football is still about a month away here. We'll check in with the 29 of Dave Mayberry. Mayberry, we've seen him here before on the Rebel Racing Network before the Florida Academy Cup Series. Glad to have him back on the channel. I think it's been a while, but I've definitely turned some laps with him in the past. It seems like it's probably a couple years ago. Glad to be calling one of his races now. And it looks like Rob Robertson in that 33 car back out on track after taking some damage, but he is being shown 8 laps down here. And Mike Hill being shown out of this, or on pit road here.
So what I'm thinking, I think Mike Hill was involved in that first incident, just from looking at what happened there afterwards. You know, Austin, you did say the person you didn't want to pick someone during that friendly broadcaster competition. So, a little bit of a broadcaster's curse.
I tell you what,
I never made my pick, and now I don't know if I want to, because you said Mike Hill, and he ran into some issues.
Yeah, I definitely did say Mike Hill, and I think I'm going to go ahead and owe an apology for the Enchanted Oats RV Park, our white flag sponsor, also Mike Hill's sponsor, but I'm going to make it up to you right now, Enchanted Oats. If you were looking for the perfect place to park and relax, oh, caution is out. I'll get you back here in a minute, Enchanted Oaks. And looks like we got, looks like Madeline Jackson caught up in this. The 9 of Chet Sellers up there slow as well. Joshua Riddle also caught up in it. We'll go ahead and see what happened here with Madeline. So Madeline out there running in the back. It looks like we've got a little bit of a blinking issue, and possibly started out with Joshua Riddle there. We'll get another look here as we try and track down exactly what happened here. You see Riddle there battling out with Chet Sellers. And Joshua Riddle getting up into the rear end of Chet Sellers, and Madeline Jackson just too hard on the brakes there, losing control of her car. And, you know, again, it looks like a little bit of the learning curve for Madeline Jackson. So now multiple cars on pit road here. Dalton Gibson looks like he's going to win the race off of pit road. As they get ready to get set up. And once again, we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. It looks like Trevor Quisenberry going to lead him to the green flag. Brian Macklin in second. Dylan Picklesheimer third. Corey Rainey making his way up to fourth. And Christian Rhodes rounding out your top 5. As the pace car dives off, and they're making their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And the green flag is out. We are back underway, folks. And the top 6 going to get single file here quickly. And keep your eye on Seth LaCroix and Dawson Price. They are making their way into the top 10 here.
So just going to report back from the incident race control. A lot of drivers have called it a race incident, but I am going to put it back to this review after the race. You know, looks like it's seen a lot of different issues there that caused that one.
Yeah, and you know, it's tough here at a track like this. Definitely, definitely seeing some miscommunications on the line and whether or not these guys are clear. And we do have an update. James Price entering the chat, saying he might have missed the pit window. I can't remember if I covered it or not, but I do believe I did. But just to reiterate, that pit window is going to be 50 to 56 laps of green flag racing. We've already seen 2 cautions in this one. And I tell you what, Hunter, I think they've been doing a lot better than we expected based on some of the issues here, you know, throughout practice.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a tough track, and a lot of these drivers kind of understand it. You know, those first 2 cautions, it's just, I think those are just things that kind of come with this track. You know, with it being concrete, it's not the smoothest surface also, as you have to take good bumps into account, and I think that's a lot of what's upsetting these drivers. And, you know, close racing, but, you know, we'll see what these drivers can figure out as they go.
Yeah, and you know, it seems like they've got it sorted out single file. Seeing a lot of single file racing now. So we go back towards the front. Looks like, I do believe Corey Rainey was making some moves. Rainey getting to the outside of Dylan Picklesheimer. That battle's on for 4th. Picklesheimer trying to battle back on that low line.
You know, that's another thing I really didn't mention. You know, at this track, you can run multiple lines. Now, the lower side seems to be a little bit better on tires, but you can run that high side to your advantage. It looks like we do have a battle going for the lead. Macklin going in under, taking the pass away from, taking the lead position away from Trevor Quisenberry. Nice move there by Brian Macklin.
Yeah, but look out behind him, because who's driving that 20 car? No one other than Al Likens, and we've seen him dominate here through the first couple races this season.
Absolutely. Was not able to get to 3-peat last week at Nashville, but again, right back up to where he seems to be comfortable. Not able to make the race last week, unfortunately, but that week off, you know, doesn't seem to hurt him any. He's right back, you know, competing right up the front.
He is right back to it. And an update on that battle for 4th between Picklesheimer and Corey Rainey. Picklesheimer going to get back out in front of Corey Rainey while we went to that battle for the lead. And Picklesheimer opening up that gap as well. But it looks like Trevor Yates, we heard some questions about him at the top of this broadcast. You know, questioning whether or not he'd make it through stage 1. He's looking strong up here in 8th and just working his way by Dawson Price.
Yeah, definitely showing a strong showing. I mean, you know, only a couple laps away. Oh, looks like Corey Rainey got hard into the outside wall coming out of 4.
And we missed that, but definitely going to cost him as Christian Rhodes gets alongside him. And that door's open for Seth LaCroix. He closes that gap up as well.
Just looking back at it now personally, really just since it got tight out of that corner, which can happen. Not too sure if he got some damage from that, but man, it looked like a hard hit. If he didn't, he might be He's counting his lucky charms now. I tell you what, if he has no damage from that.
Yes, he is. He's holding on strong, able to fend off Seth LaCroix, and Seth LaCroix missed opportunity for that 89 car as Trevor Yates getting up to that back bumper. Yates with a slight blinking issue there.
So I think that battle between Corey Rainey and Seth LaCroix definitely should be looked at, closer. As you know, last week, Corey Rainey had a very aggressive move on Seth LaCroix at Nashville. We did talk to Seth there after the race, so no official bad blood, but we'll see how they race each other tonight.
Yep, and we'll keep an eye on that. And then we'll go back to I want to check in with Tristan Haynes here. We try and get him pulled up. Oh, he's got some bad blood coming into this as well. Tristan Haynes in that 60 machine. Oh, but we'll keep an eye on him. We haven't seen him running around Nicholas Warner quite yet. Nicholas Warner in that 7 machine dropping all the way back to 29th. And you see that front end damage. He's got to get that damage taken care of here if he wants to get back into this one. And about halfway through stage 1, still 27 laps to go here before he can get down there and get that car worked on.
Absolutely. I did want to chime in again. Corey Rainey hit that outside wall again about 3 laps ago. If he didn't have damage then, I think he does have it now, dropping back again. And I didn't want to say anything about the pick, but when we were talking about picks from back and front, Corey Rainey was actually my mental pick before that first caution. So even though he wasn't mentioned on broadcast, he might have gotten a little bit of the broadcaster's curse just from me thinking about it.
And, oh, man, I can hear the groans from Wicked Pub right now there, Hunter. I hope you don't plan on going to Florida anytime soon.
I tell you what, I am going to stay as far away from Wicked Pub, not by choice, but just because I think there might be an angry mob out there waiting for me. I tell you what, I think maybe just all they want is a free round over there, and the bad luck continues for their driver.
Well, I tell you what, Hunter, you might have to just buy the pub around.
If they want to, hit me up, I'd probably fund a round, depending on how expensive it is. I only make a couple wraps here and there, so I'm not loaded with money. But if maybe bottom shelf, we could work out a deal for cursing their driver like this. Yep,
and it definitely appears he does have some damage there. He has just been absolutely routed by Tristan Haynes, Josh Edmonds, Thomas Lavierde, and Michael Prince. Caution is out. Tyler Hurt caught up in this. It looks like the 9 of Chet Sellers as well. Tyler Green going to catch a piece of this. And we'll go back and we will get a look and see what happened here. You see Tyler Hurt to the outside in that 18 machine, battling it out for position. There's tagging the outside wall, and there's nowhere to go. And then Tyler Green and Chet Sellers getting into it after the fact. One more look at it for you guys at home. He is battling with the 8 of Stephen Alessi. We'll go back live, and looks like we got some of the midfield runners coming down pit road, and even more trying to get some damage repaired. But we'll step aside for a quick commercial break as they get things sorted out here.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here. Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks, getting ready to get things underway. Is Brian Macklin going to lead them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone? Trevor Quisenberry to his inside. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. 20 laps left in stage one.
Looks like some issues there, middle pack for the restart.
I'll go back, try and get a look at this, and definitely see some three-wide racing. Where did those issues start there, Hunter?
Didn't see fully where it happened, but looks like just the middle of the pack checkup. Spin tire there on the restart. A couple issues with drivers with black flags as well. Definitely interesting to see how that happened there.
And we did see Storm Strube getting loose there as well. Storm Strube looks like he caught a piece of an incident at some point here earlier on in this one. He spent a minute on pit road. Looks like probably getting some damage repaired. So possibly a steering issue for Strube in that T-Mobile car. And I look up and see Joseph Lewis talk about Storm with the slick move to avoid. And we're not going to blame that damage on the broadcaster's course. We're going to blame that on Joseph Lewis this time. Sorry, Joseph. But Strube battling with Joshua Riddle and the 67 of Jason Orbesquez. And Storm Strube getting that car back under him. Trying to make up here. And we go back up towards the front of the pack. Christian Rhodes battling out with Trevor Quisenberry. And Trevor Quisenberry, he dropped back to fourth on that restart there. The top 10 still have yet to come down pit road and get any service done to their cars. We're down to 15 to go here in stage one, and looks like, based on the calculations here, these drivers will be able to make it to the end of stage one without coming down pit road for fuel. In the top 10, looking very fast here, even on those old tires.
Absolutely, with this track, tire management really helps. And as you know, Austin, I'm not good at that. So, I am very impressed with what these guys can do with saving their tires so far. And it looks like Brian Macklin just pulling way ahead of Dylan Picklesheimer here, using that clean air to his advantage. We've said it millions of times before in the broadcast of how much the clean air affects these next-gen cars.
Yes, it does, and we do have some activity over on Facebook as well. Peter Lyle cheering on Corey Yoakum, and Brennan Lee saying, talk about the William Byron paint scheme out there on that Trevor Quisenberry car. And we do have some battles going on back in the pack. Thomas Lavierde and Corey Yoakum battling it out. Lavierde just losing 2 positions. It looks like it's going to be a third as Tristan Haynes coming into the mix, getting underneath him. Tristan Haynes not able to complete the pass, though. Corey Yoakum going to hold on to that. Thomas Lavierde going to hold on to that 10th spot for the time being. Down to 10 to go here. And in Enchanted Oaks RV Park, I did not forget about you. We did owe you, after the broadcaster's curse on your driver, we do owe you talk about your business here a little bit. Enchanted Oaks RV Park, if you're looking for the perfect place to park and relax on the Texas coast, make your next stop at Enchanted Oaks RV Park, conveniently located on the Highway 35 bypass in beautiful Rockport, Texas. Just a short drive from local beaches, art museums, shopping, and some of the best coastal attractions the area has to offer. Whether you're staying for a weekend getaway or an extended visit, Enchanted Oaks RV Park offers comfort, convenience, and the perfect place to call home while you explore the coast. Mention this broadcast, Rebel Racing Network, or Mike Hill to receive a free gift upon checking in for your visit. And sorry you had to wait there, Enchanted Oaks. And a quick update on your driver. Mike Hill is back out on track in that 27 machine. And Joseph Lewis still talking up Storm Strube there in the chat, saying Trevor Quisenberry can't handle him. And an update on Storm Strube, currently running 15th and trying to hold off that 12 of Joshua Riddle. So we are down to 6 to go. And it looks like most everyone getting it sorted out single file, but Jeremiah Nelson and Trevor Yates battling it out. Nelson going to hold off Yates for now, as the 21 of Daniel Holloway trying to get underneath him. We'll
Brian
go back.
Macklin just for a huge lead right now. No trouble out the back.
Yep, and no competition, and it looks like Dylan Picklesheimer maybe losing a little bit of ground to Trevor Quisenberry. Quisenberry looking quick as the time is winding down here. 4 to go left in this stage. I'm sorry, it looks like we pulled away just as Dylan Picklesheimer trying to hold on Trevor Quisenberry. Quisenberry getting by him. Picklesheimer looked like he was going to try a crossover move, but the door has been open to Christian Rhodes in that one machine with only 2 laps left in the stage, and it looks like no one going to be able to touch Brian Mack in the top 5. Looking for the stage points. They're pretty set here. We'll see if anyone can make a move on the last lap. Brian Macklin working his way around lap traffic.
Oh, trouble ahead of him.
It looks like Brian Macklin going to get through cleanly. Jason Werbesquez, Alan Hess navigating as well. Rob Robertson and Fred Pennington caught up in this one. That's going to bring the end to this stage 1 here. Go back, take a look, and see what happened here involving Rob Robertson, Fred Pennington. Robertson in that gray 33, and looks like Fred Pennington. Sorry, that was Corey Rainey possibly. One more look at it from looking at Rob Robertson. Robertson trying to get around Corey Rainey. Corey Rainey, obviously not enough time there for his spotter to get the call out. But Robertson was coming to his inside, and he comes down right on Robertson. An update here, Dawson Price staying out. The rest of the field coming down pit road. Dawson Price last pitting lap 38. So definitely not enough to be able to make it to the end of stage 2, but Dawson Price going to take the track position here. And Tyler Green also staying out. Brian Macklin wins the race off pit road. Trevor Quisenberry second. Jeremiah Nelson will move up to third off pit road. Dylan Picklesheimer, fourth off pit road. He will round out your top 5 when we get back underway here.
We could probably call that close enough. I mean, pink, magenta, close enough, huh?
So the lights on the pace car are out. So they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Dawson Price leading them to that My World of Whiskey restart zone. Pace car is off. Green flag is back out. They are back underway, and Dawson Price had some concerns about those old tires and maybe spinning those tires, but very gentle getting back to that throttle. He's not going to be able to hold on to the lead position, but is going to keep that car straight. Now these guys on new tires are going to have to work their way around them. Price up to the outside. Trevor Quisenberry got to his inside pretty quickly. Jeremiah Nelson coming with them. And I'm not sure what the thought process was for Dawson Price staying out underneath that caution. Yes, he did last pit lap 38. So only 20 laps on those tires. But we know from the top of the show, and speaking with Tyler Green, tires are definitely hard to keep on your cars here.
Definitely, and you can definitely tell that just from how many positions he's just kind of lost here. The car with the fresher tires is able to drive around him so much easier in the corner, has a lot more grip. Running that high line of truth, try to save a little bit of something, it looks like, but definitely losing a lot of positions. But, you know, racing with Dawson, he does know how to save as well, so this could be a strategy for him.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on it, but Dawson Price, we're only 7 laps into this stage. He's already dropped back to 8th here, and yeah, these cars are passing him like he is standing still.
But if James Price is watching, you know, I think we might need a little broadcaster insight to see what's going on, you know?
Yeah, that'd be
We need to shout
interesting.
at him and see what's going on.
And we do have an update. Dalton Gregson, the Barbasol Bandit, wrecked out in the first caution, but is cheering on the Bandit boys here tonight. And we do appreciate that update there, Dalton. We did not catch you getting wrecked out on that first caution, so thank you for letting us know. And Hunter, I am waiting for James Price to go and chime in the chat. You know, I got to give a big shout out to James. He is he's honestly like a third broadcaster across a couple across here and the Era broadcast, pointing out stuff and helping out the broadcaster in the chat.
Absolutely. It's good to have that insider information every now and then to see what's going on. But you know, Dawson Price back to 10th now.
And the yellow's going to wave.
Oh.
Chet Sellers getting tangled up with Rob Robertson. Rob Robertson, a lap car. Chet Sellers also laps down. We'll go back, take a look. So they get their car straightened out. Chet Sellers in that 9 machine. Rob Robertson just in front of him. Looked like Rob Robertson was really struggling through that corner, and Chet Sellers it was not going to lift for him. One more look at it from a different camera angle. Kind of blocked there from the walkway above the track. And it looks like Rob Robertson, you saw him tapping that outside wall towards the end of the front stretch. And he's just really struggling there through that corner. And it's not the first time Rob's been caught up in an incident, and that car was definitely hurting coming into this one. And John Koffler checking in from a different racing league. Glad to have you here, John. And now we do see Dawson Price has made his way down pit road. He's joined by a couple other drivers. Looks like most of the other drivers trying to get damage repaired here. Madeline Jackson, one of those drivers. Richard Smith as well. And Joseph saying he likes to tell the Storm Strube to drive the work truck like he's a grandma. But now taking those words back now. And the lights on the pace car are out. We are doubled up, getting ready to go back racing, folks. See Tyler Green making his way off pit road. He's going to fall another lap down, though, trying to get damage repaired to that 77 machine. And Hunter James finally did chime in. You know, Dawson Price just looking for the bonus points for leading the lap here.
Gotcha, that's understood. You know, we'll see if it pays off for him. He'll try to get those points. I understand.
Yeah, we will
Every
see.
point matters.
Yep, we will see if that pays off for him. You know, Dawson Price, him and Seth LaCroix, if I'm not mistaken, were late additions to the series, and I think they're only in. Oh, And they've made their way through the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And we are back underway. But as I was saying, Dawson Price, Seth LaCroix, I believe their intention was to only run part-time in this series. So interesting that he's going for points. Oh, we got a three-way battle for the lead. Picklesheimer coming away with the lead off that restart. He took it 3 wide. Threads the needle. Dylan Picklesheimer to the lead. I know he wants to park that Winnebago car in Victory Lane tonight, and I'm sure he would love to park his Winnebago at Enchanted Oaks RV Park.
Getting tight off the corner there.
Yep, very tight racing, and this battle for the lead is heating up. Picklesheimer trying to hold on to it. Brian Macklin to his outside. Picklesheimer with a good run through turn 1 and 2.
I gotta say though, I am worried about tire conservation there though. If you're racing side to side very aggressively like these two are, you're definitely gonna be burning up a little tire doing so.
Yep, and I'm just looking at Trevor Quisenberry back there in third, watching this go on. Jeremiah Nelson now getting alongside him. I think Quisenberry is loving what he is seeing right. Oh, contact between the battle for the lead. Brian Macklin gonna give Dylan Picklesheimer a shot. That takes Picklesheimer off his line. He's now back to fourth, trying to fend off Jeremiah Nelson, and he's gonna fall back in line.
Absolutely. I think, a lot of elements came together there. Picklesheimer really running hard on that inside line. I think he might have heated up his tires a lot. And that's making him bleed positions fast there. Definitely, I think, an extra tire wear for that car there.
Yep, and we're going to see what happens here with Brian Macklin. Trevor Quisenberry was just kind of waiting there, not pushing it hard. He might have the tire advantage right now, trying to keep some heat out of those tires, but Brian Macklin with that clean air, looking like he's going to try and run away with it yet again. We're going to go back here. Tristan Haynes. Haynes up to ninth now, cracking the top 10. Still waiting to see Tristan Haynes and Nicholas Warner come together at some point during this. Update, Nicholas Warner currently hanging back there in 24th in that 7 machine. Still with that front end damage. And we do have an update from the top of the show. There was a big question posed to us here on the Rebel Racing Network. Can Trevor Yates manage to not wreck in stage 1 and finish a race? So the first part of that question has been answered. Trevor Yates up to 7th here in stage 2. So he has survived stage 1, and it's been an eventful one.
So not only did he survive, but he actually has the fastest lap of the race right now. So that Bird Rat's fastest lap in his hands. But, obviously it's so early. That fastest lap can be beat. But a lot better luck for him this week.
Yes, there is. And he's doing a good job here. We check back in with Joshua Riddle. He's had some issues here. Avoided some wrecks. Currently back here in 18th. And now as this one's gone on, I think we're starting to see these drivers settle into where they want to run. And have got really figured out how to run around the people near them. But it looks like the racing has cleaned up. And James Price asking how many sets of tires here. And James, just to update here, once again, they are given 5 sets of tires and 60% fuel here tonight. So James is thinking there might be another strategy here for Dawson Price. And an update here, Storm Strube heavily damaged to the front end, riding along the apron. It looks like Strube is going to have to bring it down pit road here. You see that front end damage. We're going to go back, take a look, and see what happened. Strube really out there all by himself. He's got a little bit of pressure from behind. Oh, he gets into the outside wall, and the 21 there, not expecting that, gets into him and turns him down towards the inside wall. So Daniel Holloway caught a piece of that as well. Daniel Holloway, currently our last car on the lead lap, but it looks like he's gotten away clean. And Joseph Lewis saying he hated the T-Mobile magenta vinyl at the start of this one. But it is growing on him. And I tell you what, Joseph, I really hope Storm does not drive that T-Mobile truck like he's driving that race car out here. All right, and James just giving us an update on the Seth LaCroix and Dawson Price. Seth is only part-time driver here. He's made most of the races since he's shown up, but Dawson with intent to run all the races this season. So we'll have to keep an eye on Dawson a little bit more as this one goes on and the season we get deeper into the season. So going back up to the front of the pack, though, Dylan Picklesheimer, we saw his issues there getting those tires hot at the beginning of this one. He's settled in there in 5th. Currently chasing the 46 of Jeremiah Nelson there. But Picklesheimer, contact with that outside wall, and he's feeling the pressure from behind right now.
Tell you what, man, that outside wall is treacherous. Oh, looks like there is some trouble out of 2. I did not see who that was.
Yep, and I think that might have been Trevor Yates there in that 10 machine. And it was Trevor Yates in the 10.
Man.
He smacks that inside wall.
I think there is a major broadcaster's curse here on Rebel Racing Network. I tell you what, man, I don't want to talk about a lot of these drivers. I am scared to death on their behalf.
I tell you what, I think we're going to get some messages after this one asking us to just not mention them at all during the broadcast.
I tell you what, man, it is tough. I understand this track is so difficult. Personally, I don't think I've ever ran this track in the next gen cars. But just knowing how it's ran in ARCA O'Reilly's cars, it's just so tough. And with the way tire management is in these next gen cars, I just know these drivers are just fighting inside their cars right now, just to try to figure out what the best line is to run, how not to hit that outside wall coming out of the corner, and ruin their chance of a good race.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Dalton Gregson's up in the chat now talking about Trevor Yates. I guess his nickname is Mrs. Puff. So, but unfortunately, the first couple races here, I think he's driven it more like SpongeBob. But we just kid here. Trevor Yates hanging on right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'd hurt him more by calling him Mrs. Puff on broadcast. That might hurt the soul a little bit, especially given him the curses that we have. But yeah, man, looks like he has recovered a bit. Only bled a couple spots because of that mix up, but. We'll see if he can keep into it. He did pass that first part of the goal. He's 50% there. Just has to pass that second part.
Yes, he does. Well, I don't know if we can say 50% quite yet. About 2 more laps till that 50% mark. But, maybe calling him Mrs. Puff on broadcast will break that broadcaster's curse.
Well, only thing I can say then is, Mrs. Puff, come on, let's get her going here, man. You already have the fastest lap. Just keep it going. Try to limit those mistakes.
Yep, and quick update here on the top 3. Al Likens making his way back up to the top 3.
Oh, trouble.
Where are we at with the trouble there, Hunter?
It was actually right in front of Trevor Yates. Looks like the number 67 car, but moved it off track. No caution thrown.
Yep, and that's Jason Werbesquez in the 67. He's definitely slow there. We're not getting a indication here on the scoring software that he was involved in an incident, but looks like he was able to keep his speed up while we're not going to get that indication. But you can see there that left front damage to that 67 machine. Werbesquez already elapsed down here. That's definitely going to hurt him there, and currently being followed around by that My World of Whiskey car there.
Yeah, I mean, I just got the kind of like the start of it there before my camera switched. I'm gonna personally actually just go back and see what happened. It did involve the number 10 of Trevor Yates. Actually, looks like it might have been the fault of Trevor Yates. Kind of dove in under the number 67, coming out of the corner, and got him loose and into that inside wall.
And very unfortunate. We'll try and get that replay up for you on other broadcast software. But going through the chat here, yeah, you guys, awesome, good job in the chat, keeping it lively, guys. We appreciate it because I am struggling to keep up with y'all up there. But
yeah,
a little update from Dalton Gregson. Trevor Yates actually giving that team some pointers and actually taking them through a driving course here, getting them ready for these races. James Price saying is talking highly of the talent available in this field. And then Joseph Lewis talking about, I believe it was a 1976 Corvette. He wants a ceremonial pace car out here.
I think you might have to contact iRacing for that one. Unfortunately, the pace cars are limited out here, but it would be cool to see different options.
Yes, it would. And James Price saying he needs to see SpongeBob Patrick and Mr. Krabs. It sounds like we might have to change the nicknames up for TGR. Dalton Gibson. Dalton Gibson going to be SpongeBob tonight, though, I think. Already out of this one.
Here in the chat, it looks like more trouble for the number 10 of Trevor Yates. I don't know. I think more of a broadcaster curse on him. Looking back on him, he did get into the outside wall coming out of 4 and has some right front damage.
Yep, and there is a battle going on behind him as well. That was Josh Edmonds and Corey Yoakum battling it out. Looks like Edmonds going to get the better of Corey Yoakum for the time being. And guys, just, I really do appreciate the chat. I just want to go ahead and apologize now if I do not get to you guys up in the chat. You guys are going nuts up there. We do appreciate it. Keep it going, guys, especially if you're at the Wicked Pub watching on the big screen. I hope it's the big screen down there. But make sure you tune in on your phones and take part in the chat as well. And Brendan Lee saying, we just love cursing the drivers out here with that broadcaster's curse.
I tell you what, man, I'm not doing it on purpose. But, it could just be my general bad luck spreading to these drivers. I'm not racing in it myself, and, I always find myself with all the bad luck. So maybe when I'm a broadcaster, I just kind of spread it amongst these guys.
Yes, and we do have a quick replay to get to you guys. Trevor Quisenberry making a pass on Brian Macklin. there. Quisenberry hopping out of line. Brian Macklin actually caught up behind the 9 of Chet Sellers, possibly. Was easing off, not wanting to get in the back of Chet Sellers, and Quisenberry going to capitalize on that.
Absolutely, and I've also watched their battle pretty closely these last couple laps. It looks like, Trevor Quisenberry was actually able to save a good bit of tire as well. Really just kind of been patient and just waiting for that opportunity to strike, and it looks like he found it.
Yep, and I mentioned it at the top of this one. It definitely looked like, he was going to be in a good position, saving some tire, and I think he held on to, trouble in the backstretch. That was Michael Prince going around in that 31 machine.
Looks like no caution, did not bring it out.
So we will
like I did
continue.
mention, automatic cautions are turned back on, so my hands are off for the most part unless the caution's asked for.
Yep, and we will continue here, and even with the automatic cautions turned on, it looks like they are doing a great job here of keeping those cars out of trouble for the most part. And back up to the front.
Go ahead. I'm sorry about that, Austin.
Oh, it's all right. I was just going back up to the front. Trevor Quisenberry now opening up that lap, but he does have lap traffic in front of him that we need to keep an eye on here. Now down to 10 to go here in stage 2.
Trevor Quisenberry able to extend that gap from Brian Macklin. Looks like lap traffic is helping him in that aspect. But yeah, man. Tell you what, these guys, they are neck and neck almost. I think it's going to be a lot of who can save tires and who can stay out of trouble. But a lot of these guys near the front able to do just that.
Yep, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. I also want to bring up the pit window here. We were told at the top of the show 50 to 56 laps. Most of these guys, last pitting lap 61, at the end of the stage here. We thought that they were going to need to pit here. We did get one caution throughout stage 2. But looking at these lap times falling off by over a second, it looks like. And that's allowing these drivers having to work that throttle as they go through the corners to save the fuel, it looks like, to make it to the end. We'll keep an eye on it and try and get some insight on some of the calculations going on pit road. But it definitely looks like they may be able to make it to the end of the stage here.
Absolutely. Now, there have been a couple drivers piping up that they may be coming down pit lane soon. So it's just going to depend how much they were able to save fuel and where their pit strategy kind of lays out here.
I tell you what, one driver that I know wants to get down pit road, that 23 of Dylan Picklesheimer. We saw how hard he pushed it, trying to... Oh, caution is out. Dawson Price.
Oh, no.
You see Dawson Price in that Tate production car sitting sideways there. Ooh, he tried to get it straight just as Tyler Green went below him. That's gonna be some salt in the wound for Dawson Price. Looks like Alan Hess and Storm Strube caught up as well. Take a look and see what happened here. Ooh, and he just ends up 3 wide as they were trying to go around the 9 of Chet Sellers, and there was just no room. 3 wide on a 2-lane highway right there. And it looks like we will be getting a green-white checkered flag to go to the end of stage 2. But most drivers going to pit. Dalton Gibson looks like he's going to stay. stay out. And that went through me for a loop there, because I was like, Dalton is in the chat. As Dalton Gregson up in the chat, Dalton Gibson will take over the lead. Dave Mayberry going to move to second. Thomas Lavierde in third. Richard Smith will restart fourth. And it looks like Joshua Riddle is going to round out our top 5. As they get things sorted out, we're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
All right, and we are back, folks, getting ready to get this one underway. I do believe they will be giving the 1-to-go signal this time by. The lights on the pace car are out. Storm Strube going to take the wave around here in that T-Mobile machine. So Strube having some issues here earlier on in stage 2, but still out there and competing. Unfortunately for Strube, 23 laps down. All right, and Joseph Lewis saying Strube's definitely got the skills driving I-4 down there in Orlando every day. He's just glad he didn't have to fill out the vehicle incident report, though. And I think, well, we did have an update from down in Florida as well. Dalton Gregson showing some love from the pub to their driver, Corey Rainey. Sounds like Dalton Gregson looks like he might have wrecked that on purpose to hit the pub early. But the green flag about to come out as they make their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Dalton Gibson leads him to the flag, and he spins his tires. We got trouble on the front stretch. And that is going to bring an end here to stage 2. So Dalton Gibson going around Trevor Quisenberry and Chet Sellers. All caught up here officially on our scoreboard. One more look at it. Dave Mayberry also caught up as well. And it looks like everyone's going to get through there clean for the most part. Definitely some dents and dings on these cars, though, as they all scramble to try and get it worked out there. So now they're going to reset. Dave Mayberry, Richard Smith now coming down pit road, joined by Trevor Quisenberry. Quisenberry was scored as being involved in that one, but not seeing too much damage to that 24 car. And I think that is the plus here. They didn't get those cars up to speed, so not going to be a huge hit to the wall there. And we will go ahead and step aside for a quick commercial break. All right, and we are back, folks. Looks like they've got it sorted out now. Brian Macklin back to the lead. It looks like it'll be Al Likens restarting second. Tristan Haynes will restart third. Christian Rhodes in fourth. And Dylan Pickles Simon rounding out your top five. The lights on the pace car are out as we get ready to go back green flag racing here, folks. And we do see the lights on the pace car back out. Hunter, looks like they have decided to extend the caution here. All right, so Dawson Price stepping back aside to deal with some I'm sorry, not Dawson Price. Hunter Geyer stepping aside to do some race control duties, and it sounds like a lot of things got messed up on that restart as they try and get things sorted out here. But I do see the lights on the pace car out. And I stand corrected. Lights on the pace car are back on as they continue to get things sorted out. And we will wait patiently for Hunter Geyer to give us the breakdown of what is going on. But I am seeing, looks like possibly an issue out of Dalton Gibson and Nicholas Warner under caution. And it might be they just slowed down. That's where the scoring is saying there was an issue. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay and see what exactly happened. And it looks like guys just slowing down under caution to get this sorted out. All right, so lights on the pace car out as it crosses the line, and we're going to get our hopes up, keep our fingers crossed that we can get stage 3 underway here. All right, through turns 1 and 2, no lights coming on. And I think we've got it sorted out. Hunter, are you back yet? And James Price, that is correct. The 31 to the outside of Dawson and the 9 to the inside were both lap cars.
All right. I tell you what, so I think a lot of that was a big mix-up due to the spin tire in the front, that initial incident.
Oh, hang on. We are around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Sorry about that, Hunter. Had to make sure My World of Whiskey gets their love.
Yeah, man. So I think a lot of that was a big iRacing glitch. I just saw a bunch of black flags come out at once. I was trying to handle or seeing what, giving EOLs. So we have a bunch of stuff going on, obviously, with, penalties with the EOLs. But we also have drivers with issues with connection loss, and the admins have decided that if you lose loud through the connection loss, they get wave around. So that's also been hard to manage with the giving out the ELLs and the wave around. So I think iRacing has just gotten confused at this point. So basically the consensus was there at the end, just kind of line up where you are and kind of go from there. So I just had to clear blacks for like 12 different cars there because iRacing had no idea where to place them in the field. So it's, Yeah, that was tough. Even from race control perspective, it was kind of hard to tell what exactly was happening.
All right, yeah, we know that it's tough. Oh, caution is back out. And it looks like Josh Edmonds caught up in this, as well as Stephen Alessi and Madeline Jackson. We'll take a look, see what happened here to Josh Edmonds. Edmonds in that 3 San Francisco 49ers car. You see him out of line. Trevor Yates hopping in line behind him. Now, I'm not sure if Edmonds got some help from Trevor Yates there, but he's going to collect 2 more cars behind him. We'll get another look here. And no, it looks like Edmonds maybe just caught a piece of that apron, but he spins all on his own there and collects a few more drivers trying to get slowed down for that one because they get things reset. We do got to show some love to a couple of our other sponsors. Once again, we want to thank Florida Academy for being part of this series. Our title sponsor at Florida Academy in Fort Myers, Florida. You'll find the short-term professional education programs in some of today's fastest growing fields. For over 3 decades, they've been helping students transform their dreams into reality with a focus on real world practical learning, and we prepare our students to launch careers in the beauty and wellness as well as the skilled trades industries. Big thank you to Florida Academy. And then of course we got to give another quick shout out to My World of Whiskey. This race, once again, brought to you by My World of Whiskey, the most comprehensive app for serious bourbon and whiskey collectors to track every bottle on their shelf. You've used a race code use code RACE25 to receive a 25% discount through the website www.myworldofwhiskey.com. Once again, big shout out to them. Thank you guys for making this race possible over there at My World of Whiskey. And the lights on the pace car are back out as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And the pace car is off as Brian Macklin going to lead them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And green flag's back out, 66 laps to go, and I think that's going to it's going to really help these drivers out when it comes to pit strategy. And Dawson Price are in the chat. Oh, trouble. Brian Macklin's around, our race leader. He's been dominant here tonight. He goes around, bounces off the inside wall, bringing out yet our another caution, our 9th caution of the night. So go back, take a look at it. Brian Macklin, he gets down to the inside there. And he just gets loose, getting back to the throttle too quick, coming off of turn 2. A costly mistake for that 30 car. And real quick, going back up to the chat, guys, once again, I do apologize if I don't get to you. You guys are going nuts up there. But Dalton Gregson pointing out that Corey Rainey was back into the top 10 here. Fortunately, Corey Rainey, these last couple restarts, He's ended up back in 15th. He's going to bring that car down pit road to get it serviced. And we see that 7 as well coming down pit road. That is Nicholas Warner. Warner back on the lead lap. And Dalton Gregson feeling confident on Corey Rainey's chances here. Saying that he's going to get it done tonight.
Sorry about that, Austin. I do have some bad news for you. So, all the issues going on with race control, I am actually going to have to step out of the broadcast for this one. So, I just got word from Tyler Green. He's going to have me step out just so I can, we're going to tag team it as much as we can because he's out of the race. So I am sorry to say I'm going to have to leave the broadcast for tonight.
All right, and that is perfectly all right. We do appreciate the help getting us through the top of the show. Well through halfway here, so I think I got it handled from here.
All right, man. Thank you so much, and thanks for everyone for tuning in. Sorry about this one, but this isn't crazy.
All right, well, we do appreciate it. And update here, Sports Crazy Boy updating us on the 21 machine. There's a 21 of Daniel Holloway has been disqualified for not getting the wave around due to packet loss. So the 21, one of those cars that we were talking about having connection issues, is disqualified, and one of those issues that they've got to step aside and get worked out here. But all things considered with race control and some of the confusion, we do have a very large field and a lot of only showing 2 drivers actually out of this race right now, it looks like. Everyone else still hanging around to get this one done. But the pace car going to dive down pit road as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And Dylan Picklesheimer going to lead them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. But Al Likens getting the jump. Likens out to the lead. And Joseph Lewis not happy with the 21 of Daniel Holloway for wrecking Storm Strube. Now update, Rodman and Corey Rainey running together. From Dalton Gregson. Rodman in the My World of Whiskey machine, 96 machine. So they get it sorted out. We're going to go back to the front of the field here. Single file. Up front. Battle going on back here between the 2 of Richard Smith and the 32 of Michael Prince. Michael Prince, we saw some issues out of him earlier on in this one. But he has battled back here. So we are down to 59 laps to go. And battle's continuing behind them. As they continue to battle Dalton Gibson, Seth LaCroix. LaCroix to the inside here. And update, Stephen Alessi. Looks like he's had an issue. He's slow on the backstretch there down to the inside. Heavy damage to that front end of the 8 machine. We'll step aside, see what happened. Stephen Alessi out there all by himself, and it looks like this is going to be self-inflicted on the number 8 machine. He got loose there, tried to save it, and just a big overcorrection there on the 8. That's going to bring out the yellow flag. He was unable to make it back to pit road before the yellow needed to be thrown. So Dylan Picklesheimer, now our race leader. Jeremiah Nelson in second. Christian Rose in third. Trevor Quisenberry back up to fourth. Tristan Haynes will round out your top 5. And we'll step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. Yellow flag pit stops underway, so that's going to shake up our leaderboard here. Looked like the top 4, correction, the top 5 staying out. Corey Rainey moves to first. Eric Rodman up to second. Brian Macklin in third. Dylan Picklesheimer will restart fourth. Jeremiah Nelson in fifth. So, correction, top 3 going to stay out there. But Corey Rainey and the Wicked Pub moving to the lead. And I hear a cheer coming out of Florida right now. Eric Rodman in that My World of Whiskey My World of Whiskey machine will restart second. So he's going to lead probably the inside line to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Once again, My World of Whiskey, the sponsor of tonight's race. And bourbon collectors, this one is for you. My World of Whiskey, the most comprehensive collection app on the market. Use promo code RACE25 to receive a 25% discount through the website. So we get ready to go back green flag racing. Lights on the pace car are out. And Dalton Gregson with an update here, cheering on the Bandit boys. But Rodman will have a Wicked Pub paint scheme next week, inspired by their signature dollar bill wall. And Dalton, it sounded like you were at the pub earlier on. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and put a Rebel Racing Network dollar bill up on the wall for me, please. That pace car is off, and they are making their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And the green flag is back out. We are back underway. Corey Rainey holding on to the lead for the time being. Dylan Picklesheimer putting the pressure on him. We're going to watch these two. We saw Picklesheimer really use up his tires trying to battle for the lead at the beginning of stage. Caution is out. Corey Rainey's going to hold on to the position there. It looks like Trevor Yates caught up in this one, as well as Michael Prince and Jason Werbesquez. See Trevor Yates to the outside there, 3 wide as he tries to get by Michael Prince. And he just gets turned up into the outside wall. I think he had some help there. We're going to go ahead and ride along with Michael Prince here. Looked like he was at the end of that one, and see what he saw. See Trevor Yates going around to the outside. Oh, Michael Prince just getting into that right rear quarter panel and sending Yates around. Very unfortunate for the Trevor Yates crew, and I think that might answer the question whether or not he can survive to the end of the race. But Corey Rainey going to come down pit road. And it looks like he is all by his lonesome. Joshua Riddle towards the back of the field going to join him as well. So Dylan Picklestein are going to go back to the lead. Seth LaCroix making his way up to stage 2. P2. Trevor Quisenberry in 3rd. Brian Macklin in 4th. Jeremiah Nelson will restart 5th. And James, I did not forget about you asking about the update on the points. We did miss that at the top of the show, but an update on the points coming into this one. Al Lykin still in the lead with 145 points, even after missing last week. Jeremiah Nelson climbing 5 positions up to 2nd with 132 points. Dylan Picklestein is going to hold strong in 3rd with 103 points. Tyler Green moves up to 4th with 94 points. And Corey Rainey up to 5th with 92 points. And a quick update on the chase at the end of the season. Chase for the Cup. 16 cars will make the chase. And the tail end of that field right now, we have Tyler Hurt sitting on the cut line with 76 points. Eric Rodham 2 points above the cut line with 78 points, who's also tied with Alan Hess. And then Christian Rose currently being shown 12th in points, 3 points above the cut line with 79. I do apologize, James. A lot going out on... A lot of stuff happening on track. We're trying to keep updated on everything here. And Dalton Gregson said he's going to post a photo of the Rebel Racing dollar when he goes to the pub the next time. So we will be waiting on that, Dalton. We do appreciate it, buddy. But the lights on the pace car are out as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And look at back up. All right. Pace car is off as we get around. As Dylan Picklesheimer will lead them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Picklesheimer choosing the inside line here as we go back green flag racing. 49 laps left to go in this one. And look who is back up in the top 5. Brian Macklin making some moves here. He was fast. Got himself loose off of turn 2 on a restart. Bouncing off the wall. Definitely had some damage, but getting right back into this one. And Joseph Lewis, once again, talk about the 1976 Corvette he wants as the honorary pace car. Joseph, we would love to do that, but we're going to have to do some research into that. You may have to reach out to some admins here at iRacing to get that one to happen. And Dalton letting us know the Wicked Pub, last time he was there, they had the 1982 Sonoma race on TV. And then our Auto Club race on that as well. And I have been told by Tyler Green that we do have an update out of the Wicked Pub. We've put together a playlist to, with all of our races so far in the Florida Academy Cup Series that they will have on a loop playing on at least one of their TVs, so we're excited about that. And once again, appreciate you guys at the Wicked Pub. Tell you what, guys, next time I'm down in Florida, I've got to stop by and buy you guys around. So back to the racing on track. Seth LaCroix. He started up there in the top 3, restarting the top 3, but he's fallen here quickly. Looking at his last pit stop, he did only take 2 tires back on lap 146, so just a few green flag tires, but looks like 2 tires not going to be the move here. Now down to 43 laps left to go, and it looks like most of the field has worked it out single file. Looking at Joshua Riddle and Dave Mayberry battling it out here for 13th. Looks like Riddle going to get the better of Dave Mayberry here. And Joshua Riddle trying to drive away from Mayberry is Dalton Gregson pulling up to the rear end of that 29 machine. And, you know, Dave Mayberry, last pitted lap 146. It looks like he was getting some damage repaired on pit road as well. 47 second pit stop for him. And possibly still some wheel damage to that 29 machine. An update on Corey Rainey as well. He came down pit road all by his lonesome there on lap 150. I think he was trying to get a little bit of a tire advantage. He is back up to 8th, but the way this field is spread out, currently being shown about 3 seconds behind the leader, I think that I don't think he's going to get that much of an advantage to be able to make up that time here. Unless we were to get another caution. And back up to the front, Dylan Picklesheimer, your leader. Trevor Quisenberry in second. Brian Macklin has made his way up to third. Dalton Gregson say there's some long run speed in that 4 of Corey Rainey, but we're going to stay glued to the front of the field right now as Dylan Picklesheimer trying to hold off Trevor Quisenberry. Update, they're still holding fast at 3 seconds over Corey Rainey right now. They do have the lap traffic of Chet Sellers in front of them. Looks like they're going to make their way by him, no problem. But Dylan Picklesheimer, yeah, we've seen him fast, but using up those tires, Quisenberry and Brian Macklin have been in charge of this race, it seems like, all night. I think they're going to be able to get alongside of him in the laps to come, as we were only down to 36 to go. And that could be what some of these guys in the back, or just behind him, need. Christian Rhodes hanging out back there. About 0.8 of a second between him and the leader right now. So Christian Rhodes, I think he's just waiting to see if these guys get up alongside each other and start using up those tires. And the battle is on for second. But an update, an issue out of Josh Edmonds here yet again. Edmonds coming down pit road being shown the black flag, and it looks like he had to use a tow to the pits. We'll get you the replay on that just as soon as this battle for second is over. Brian Macklin, Trevor Quisenberry touching out of turn 4. Neck and neck as they go through turns 1 and 2, and Macklin with the speed, but he's in that dirty air. He's not going to have the advantage of clean air this time. I think that dirty air really hurting that 30 car here. As now he's going to clear Trevor Quisenberry. Quisenberry almost had an opportunity for a crossover move, but going to tuck in behind Brian Macklin, not without giving him a shot to the rear end. I don't think these two are done quite yet. Now down to 31 to go. It looks like it has calmed down for just a second. We're going to step aside to take a look and see what happened here with Joshua Edmonds. Edmonds out there all by himself, and yeah, we know he was caught up in an incident earlier. He is off the pace there. Some wheel damage to that 3 machine. Tags the outside wall, and I think Edmonds He's going to bring it to a stop, and he's going to call it a night, and that's what caused that issue for Edmonds. And looking back, we talked about Trevor Yates. He was caught up in one of these incidents earlier. The question was he going to, the second half of the question was he going to finish the race? And he is back out there getting by Corey Rainey, but the yellow flag is going to fly, and looks like this time Nicholas Warner caught up in it. Nicholas Warner there in the 7, and looks like he just came up the track on that 33 machine. And ends up there in the inside wall. He keeps parked down there, trying to make sure he does not get in the way of other drivers. And, you know, kudos to Nicholas Warner, making sure that he doesn't get anyone else caught up. We'll step aside for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. Pit stop's underway here. It looks like our looks like most of the field coming down here, with the exception of Joshua Riddle in that 12 machine. He stays out, and I'm not even sure if he has any tires left. So the lineup, when they go back green flag racing, Joshua Riddle will lead them to the green flag. Dylan Picklesheimer restart in second. Trevor Quisenberry in third. Brian Macklin in fourth. Tristan Haynes rounding out your top 5. And James Price saying nothing against that 23 of Dylan Picklesheimer, but he thinks Brian Macklin and Trevor Quisenberry are going to be the ones ending up battling out for the win. I don't know, James. I'm looking at the lineup here, and that 12 of Joshua Riddle is going to be a wild card when they get back green flag racing, especially coming around to that My World of Whiskey restart zone. We've seen these old tires get really slick, and really some drivers just driving over their head on these cold tires, trying to get back up to speed and hold on to the position for at least a couple laps. We've got to watch out for Joshua Riddle here. Joseph Lewis urging Storm Strube to get back in this one. Storm Strube multiple laps down back there in 26th, though. It's a little bit too late in the race there, unfortunately, Joseph. So the pace car is off, and they make their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag's back out. We are back underway. Dalton Gregson saying if Rainey is in the top 10, he is in the running. They get through the restart zone cleanly, and Joshua Riddle hanging up there with Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer on that top line. And I don't think this is what Picklesheimer wanted to see. I think he wanted to make a little bit quicker work of Joshua Riddle getting back out to that lead. He'll clear him now, but now Trevor Quisenberry dealing with the Brian Macklin bringing up the rear there of Trevor Quisenberry. Now Picklesheimer's going to fall off. Or I'm sorry, Riddle is going to fall off. Dylan Picklesheimer out to a 0.2 of a second lead. Heather Bartell, not sure who. Oh, caution is out. Waiting to see what brought out the caution. We do see Madeline Jackson on pit lane. Doesn't look like anyone got slow enough to trigger the incident notification on our software. There it is. Looks like Rob Robertson caught up in this. Possibly Madeline Jackson just trying to avoid it. So Rob Robertson, not his first incident tonight. He's had bad luck all night, it seems like. And you can see... You can see the damage to that car. So Madeline Jackson definitely sideways there. We're going to battle or back it up, try and get a better look and see what exactly happened here. So Rob Robertson in that 33 machine. All the way on the outside, and he bounced off that outside wall and gets into Storm Strube in that T-Mobile machine. And Heather Bartell cheering on Storm Strube as well. So some more pit stops going on here. Dalton Gibson on pit road. Looks like he's got to get some damage repaired. Joshua Riddle going to bring it down, and I think he's looking to get that car serviced. He saw the difference those tires made as you know, the rest of the field able to make quick work of him on that last restart. And James Price saying, here we go, 24 and 30, and this restart's going to change things up here. And it looks like we're going to have about 18 laps left to go when the green flag drops. So Picklesheimer with the advantage, getting to lead him to the restart zone and control the restart here. Trevor Quisenberry and Brian Macklin. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do here. So we get ready to go. Dylan Picklesheimer going to choose the outside line. Tristan Haynes behind him. Quisenberry going to the inside. Brian Macklin following suit. And Joseph Lewis saying, don't touch the magenta. And Lewis saying Storm owes him breakfast tomorrow. And Brendan cheering on Quisenberry as that pace car is off. They're going to make their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. Picklesheimer getting the jump there. 19 left to go in this one. Quisenberry getting out in front as well. He's got a little bit of a gap over Brian Macklin. We're going to see if Macklin can make up this time here. Macklin, I think, is going to be the one that is the car out there to beat right now. He's been fast all night. Trevor Quisenberry up there, but I don't know if he's got enough to get back by Dylan Picklesheimer here. And John Koffler cheering on Team Chevy, but it is a Toyota leading the pack right now. We take a look at the last lap times. Picklesheimer faster by a couple hundredths of a second there. opening up that gap. Down to 17 laps left in this one. It's down to 16 to go. Trevor Quisenberry hanging on to second right now. And he's losing ground on Dylan Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer's got the opportunity to run away with it here. And go back looking at the pack. Definitely some two-wide races still going on. You see Christian Rhodes just out in front of Joshua Riddle, Michael Prince, and Dave Mayberry as they try and get it sorted out here. Storm Strube also throwing his hat into the mix, and he's just out to prove that he is a fast driver. Strube multiple laps down, but not giving up in this one. So still two-wide racing going on back in the pack. Down to 13 laps left to go. Lavierde giving up ninth to Christian Rhodes. Update on Lavierde. He last pitted lap 173. Back up to the front. Dylan Picklesheimer opening up that gap. And where did this guy come from? Trevor Yates in that 10 machine. The question coming into this one was, that he even going to be able to finish the race? He's up here racing for third, getting by Brian Macklin, who's been the car to beat all night. And the yellow flag is going to wave yet again. Christian Rhodes caught up in this, it looks like. Rhodes heavily damaged to that front end. Stephen Alessi catching a piece of this as well. We'll go back, take a look, and see what happened here with Christian Rhodes. Rhodes slower than that 2 car, it looks like, and Rhodes just getting loose right in front of the 2. I don't think he had help there. Unless there's possibly a little bit of aero there. But Stephen Alessi not seeing where he was caught up. Alessi in that 8 machine. And it looks like he just checked up, and Mike Hill, unfortunately, going to get in the back of him. I'm looking back at Christian Rhodes, heavily damaged steering. I think he might have to use the tow back to pit road here. And you can see the skew on that car. I'm willing to bet if we had a in-car camera of his, or a live stream of him sitting in his rig right now, I'm willing to bet that that steering wheel is turned at least 180 degrees. All right, and John's saying, nice attempt at his last name. Underkoffler. I do apologize, John. So it seems like some of you guys up in the chat, I need a pronunciation channel on my Discord. I had to get one for some of the drivers here. Just trying to make sure I get these names pronounced right. So I do apologize, John. But they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. The lights on that pace car are out. Dylan Picklesheimer still our leader. He's going to elect the top line. Trevor Quisenberry going to restart second to his inside. Brian Macklin restarting fourth behind Dylan Picklesheimer. I think he was smart to choose that top line. Trevor Yates going to restart third, though. Second car on the inside. We're going to see what Yates can do. He was able to get by Brian Macklin earlier. Macklin going to have the advantage starting behind Dylan Picklesheimer, so he should be able to fire off just a little bit quicker than Trevor Yates. And John, yeah, I do apologize. It is definitely tough just learning driver names. Now I got to learn a bunch of fan names too. We got 30 of y'all up there. But the pace car is off, and they are coming around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. Picklesheimer taking off. Brian Macklin getting out to second. We said he was smart to take that top line right behind Picklesheimer. We are down to 7 to go. We've seen these two battle it out before. Picklesheimer going to lead this lap. Trevor Quisenberry has settled into third. Trevor Yates in fourth. Trevor Yates showing a lot of speed here. We saw him get by Brian Macklin. We'll see if he can make a move on Trevor Quisenberry. Oh, that's a mouthful. Oh, Quisenberry in the outside wall. That's going to open up the door for Yates. Yates to his inside. Quisenberry, though, just kept his throttle right in it. Side by side, Yates not able to capitalize on that low line. That opens up the door for Jeremiah Nelson to get to the outside of Yates. Looking at the leaders as they come down to 4 to go. Dylan Picklesheimer, 0.3 of a second over Brian Macklin. Yates still back here. Oh, I think that was Christian Rhodes down there on the inside. Looks like he tried to get that car back out there, but it just does not want to go. So Trevor Yates now going to settle into 6th. Tristan Haynes and Jeremiah Nelson getting by him. But the caution is back out. And Christian Rhodes caught up in this one. Or the cause of this caution. You see that the skew on that car, and it looks like I don't know if he had any intention of even getting that car back up to speed here. Just trying to hang on to whatever position he can. I'm guessing his intent was to run around the low side there. He goes around. Unfortunately, it's on the racing surface, and I was trying to get an update here on Christian Rhodes, where he stands. Rhodes being scored in 21st. So that brings out our 15th caution of the night in the My World of Whiskey 200. And that right there, that might, we talked about at the beginning of the season how every driver will be paid out based on their position. So he's got that motivation to get that car back out on track and just hang on to what positions he can. You know, some of the drivers behind him still out there turning laps, but this might be the result, or there might be a new rule being posted in the Discord later tonight based on the results of that. But we got to get in another quick mention to the My World of Whiskey. A big thanks to them for supporting today's race. If you are a serious bourbon collector or you've branched out into Scotch, Rye, Japanese, or Irish, My World of Whiskey is the most comprehensive app on the market for tracking your collection, managing your bottles, and discovering new pours. Over 10,000 bottles in their curated database. Use promo code RACE25 to receive a 25% discount through the website www.myworldofwhiskey.com and get started. And once again, guys, I do believe you can use that discount code in their apps available in the app in Google Play Store as well. We've talked a lot about their website, but I do believe you can use that on the apps as well to get set up. But we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Dylan Picklesheimer still your leader. Brian Macklin going to go to his inside on this restart. Jeremiah Nelson will restart in fourth. Trevor Quisenberry in third. And I don't know if I do believe they're giving everyone the opportunity to choose a line here. I don't know if I like Trevor Quisenberry's choice. And it will be a green-white checkered finish as that pace car is off. And they make their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. Picklesheimer out to the lead. Brian Macklin trying to get a run on the bottom line. But they're single file as they go through turns 1 and 2. Picklesheimer holding on to the lead as they come to the white flag. The Enchanted Oaks RV Park white flag waves. It is all Dylan Picklesheimer through turns 1 and 2. A tenth of a second separating them. They wreck behind them. Brian Macklin setting him up for a move. Brian Macklin going to go to the outside, but Dylan Picklesheimer going to hold on. Picklesheimer going to take the checkered flag. And he is headed to the TriStar Property Management victory lane. Brian Macklin going to come home second. Trevor Quisenberry in third. And we'll go back and see what caused this incident after the white flag. Good on them being able to race to the end here. We're showing Eric Rodham in the first car involved, and it looks like it was actually the 17 there getting into the outside wall. Collecting multiple cars there. So Dalton Gibson, he wasn't even scored as part of that wreck. Go ahead and see what happened from Nicholas Warner's point of view. All right, so it really looked like it might have been Corey Rainey there, the big cause of that one. Multiple cars pushing it hard, and you know that can happen when you guys get bunched up like that. One guy overdrives the corner, and if they're bunched up, you'll see the next 3 guys overdriving the corner as well and getting in that outside wall. And I think Corey Rainey saw that car in front of him, was following his line, overdrove the corner, and got up into Nicholas Warner there. We cut back to Dylan Picklesheimer doing a Polish victory lap. And it sounds like Storm Strube, his fan club's going to meet at the Cracker Barrel in Daytona this Sunday. Storm Strube's got some breakfast to buy. So, and as we get everything set up for our interviews, we will watch Dylan Picklesheimer celebrate his first win here. As he completes that Polish victory lap. And Picklesheimer gonna burn it down. And John, he's gonna do a burn. He did do a burnout here. And he is gonna use up what is ever left of those tires. A hard-fought win for Dylan Picklesheimer. And that's going to bring an end to it, as you could hear the engine give out on him. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our post-race interviews. We'll kick it off with Trevor Quisenberry. Trevor, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah.
All right, man. Congratulations on a third-place finish here tonight. Definitely sound a little bit disappointed with the third-place finish when you came in here, but it was a hard-fought battle between you and Brian Macklin. We watched you guys go back and forth, seemed like all night. Take us through what it was like battling with him for the lead.
Yeah, just a big aero dependent in this car, and I don't know. There's just plenty of ways to set other people up and get past, or it can go bad or good, but it was a good race.
All right, definitely a good race. So one thing we were concerned about coming into this one was the tires. We heard a lot of people complaining about the tires, and coming into this, how did your tires hold up throughout the race?
Yeah, that was one thing I practiced a lot, and in the first stage, I don't know, I was getting a little mad because people were just pushing as hard as they could at the end there. After I saved all my stuff, so I was just getting past, and then it's just hard to get past someone once you got all the air. So it was pretty much just useless to save there at the end of the stages. So at the end there, I just pushed as hard as I could and got a third.
All right. Well, it definitely paid off. So we were watching the top 5 there at the end, and we saw Trevor Yates come in there late. He was involved in an incident and was able to get around Brian Macklin. What were your thoughts when you saw Trevor Yates come in there in that 10 car?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised about that. I seen the broadcast where he got ran into there, so props to him for getting back up here and getting a good finish.
All right, well, it sounds good. We're going to let you get on out of here and start the celebration with the podium finish. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, thanks to On Point, Corey, you guys for the broadcast, the race control, just everything that keeps this league going.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. And once again, that was Trevor Quisenberry. We're going to move on to tonight's second place finisher, Brian Macklin. Brian, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
All right, man, we are doing pretty good. Congratulations on a second place finish. But, you were by far definitely one of the most dominant cars out there, it seemed like. What were your thoughts coming to that last green-white checkered finish?
My thoughts were I wish I didn't self-spin 70 laps prior to that and lose control of the race, because that made it really hard to keep or give myself the best chance to win. And I mean, I was trying, but it's so hard to restart from the bottom, which is why the leader takes the top. And once he got clear, the dirty air until the tires were out, you can't really do anything. So I knew that unless he really made a mistake, I wasn't going to get him. It was just trying to hang on to second at that point.
All right. Well, and you mentioned hanging on to second. We were watching the top 5 battle it out before those last couple cautions, and even the chat expected you to be in contention for the win here, and a lot of people were doubting Dylan Picklesheimer, expecting you and Trevor Quisenberry to battle it out, and then Trevor Yates actually comes in and passes you for third at one point. Were you trying to save tires there, or were you pretty much spent on the in the tire department?
No, I wasn't really saving tires. I'm just not a short run kind of driver. I never have been. I need the 15, 20, 30 lap runs to really kind of get into a rhythm and get going. And I also spent most of the race in clean air and then was trying to learn how to drive the car in dirty air, which just, it drives so different when you're behind one or two cars. And I got really tight and just started making mistakes, and that allowed Trevor to get by. And I got lucky on the one restart where Dylan took the top and I was in fourth, so I was able to jump back up and get into second, which got me a lot cleaner air, which then made it to where I could try to contend, but still just I needed longer runs.
All right. And do you think if we would have got some more green flag racing at the end and not a green white checkered finish, do you think you would have been able to get by Dylan Picklesheimer?
Yeah, if we went green from the 40 lap to go mark, whatever it was, we had that long run before we all pitted for the final time. I think that was the run where I was going to be able to get them. I had just gotten by Trevor and was really knocking down lap time on Dylan as well. And if we'd ran 10 laps longer from that point, I think I would have passed him, and then I could have had control with the caution, still maybe had control, and then went on to probably try to win it.
All right, man. Well, may not have won the race here, but definitely coming out here and showing you've got a lot of speed. We got a lot to look forward through the rest of the season. Which track are you looking forward to most on the schedule?
If I had, I'm trying actually looking at it right now. There's quite a few in the back half of the season I'm really looking forward to. I'm not going to be here next week, unfortunately. I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm going to miss Indy. But looking forward, I really like Phoenix, really like Darlington. Wilkesboro is going to be a lot of fun for the All-Star race. There's a handful down there on the back half of this season that I really think we can do good at. So we're gonna go get a couple of wins before the season's over.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking a moment to talk with us. We are going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got to start by thanking you for doing the broadcast. It's fun to go back and check these things out. Got to thank the My World of Whiskey for jumping in and being the title sponsor of tonight's race. That's really cool they did that. Obviously, Florida Academy for being the premier sponsor for the series. And anybody else that's got a hand in this, I'm looking through here. Looks like Enchanted Oaks is also a sponsor. So got to thank those guys. Got to thank the American Lung Association. That's the sponsor that's on my car. They're a near and dear thing to me and my family. Everything they do to try to raise awareness for lung cancer and try to raise money for people, really special. If you have a family member that's in need of that, you can go onto their website and you can apply to get some donations. So something to look for if you need it. And then got to thank the admins for giving us a place to race here on Thursday nights. This has been fun so far. Just got to get a few more green flag runs at the end.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Let's have a good one.
All right. You too now. All right. Once again, that was Brian Macklin coming home here second tonight. We're going to move on to tonight's race winner and head down to that TriStar Property Management Victory Lane. Dylan Picklesheimer with the intro there saying this is fun, we're having fun. And Dylan, sounds like you had a lot of fun here tonight.
Yes, sir. That was a long, stressful, tight, loose race, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, man. Congratulations on taking home the win here tonight. And getting to park it in that TriStar Property Management Victory Lane. Take us through the that last stage of the race. We had a lot of doubters up in the chat here. A lot of people expected Brian Macklin and Trevor Quisenberry able to get by you. We saw you battling for the lead at the beginning of stage 2, and it seemed like you pushed your tires too hard. And I think that, put some doubt in people's minds. What was the key here at the end of this one?
Track position was the key. So, like you said, they were a lot faster than me in stage 1 and 2. I was just stuck behind them. I was burning my tires up, just trying to stay with them. Second stage, I kind of fell back to save gas because we couldn't make it to the end. And then I could make it to the end, and I got back to like 9th or something. And then the caution came out, so it didn't matter. So after that, I restarted probably like 10th, 8th, somewhere around there, and somehow got to like 4th. On a restart when Macklin got loose, I was able to just take the lead, and I kept taking 2 tires and kept the fresh air, and I pulled away there on that second to last restart, ran the fastest lap of the race. Had a half-second lead, and then Christian, my teammate, comes back on the track with damage, so I was yelling at him. But we was able to capitalize on that final restart, and I had to drive it in 3 and 4. I thought 30 was going to get me, but we were able to keep it up front and come home with the dub, so I'm happy.
All right. Well, parking that car at Victory Lane, and I've got to do this. I've made some jokes on the broadcast about your sponsor here driving the Winnebago car. You gonna park your Winnebago down there at Enchanted Oaks RV Park at any point in the near future?
Yeah, for sure. I actually work at Winnebago. I'm an employee of them. So check out Winnebago.com, WinnebagoIndustries.com if you want to shop any local RVs around the area. We got dealers all over the country. I want to shout out Fred Pennington. He made that scheme for me. I love that camo. I just love that camo with that Winnebago on the hood, man. It looks good. So I appreciate you, Fred. And yeah, so I definitely don't own Winnebago, but I can rent them out for like a week. I get them for free, so I might have to check that out. Where's Enchanted at?
That is all the way down there in Texas, sir. I did see that you were located in Lincoln, North Carolina. So sounds like you've got a trip for planned here. That's gonna be a long haul for you.
Yeah, I'm actually up in Forest City, Iowa. I guess I haven't changed that. I was born and raised in Lincoln, North Carolina, though, but I've been living in Iowa for the past 7 years. So I always got to stay true to Lincoln, so that's probably why I have it on there. But it's definitely, I'd say Iowa's probably closer to Texas than North Carolina is, so might have to check it out.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know it's about a 10-hour drive from the Charlotte area down to Texas. Don't ask me how I know.
Yeah.
So, but then, and then the other joke that we've constantly been having here up in the broadcast booth was the broadcaster's curse. I don't know how much you get to go back and watch these broadcasts. We definitely got some long ones and, really good ones, but I've joked because I have picked you as one to watch. It seems like week in and week out. I watched you at the beginning of the season, definitely a fast driver, definitely laying down some fast laps, and then always seeming to find trouble. I stayed away from talking about you or picking you tonight. Do you think the broadcaster's curse is real?
I definitely think it's real. You just don't say nothing about me till the end when you're talking to me, So, Daytona, I was quick. Auto Club, I was quick, got wrecked. Me and my teammate 46, we were probably one of the 2 fastest cars, got wrecked on that last stage. And then Nashville, I got hit into it lap 10, had 8 minutes of damage and didn't get it clean till lap with 25 to go. But rallied for a 4th. Definitely probably didn't have the fastest car tonight, but we'll take it, man. You just got to get the clean air in these cars, and you can kind of control the race. So I'm happy about it, man. I do love watching these afters, so I'm looking forward to that, and I appreciate all y'all do,
All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. We're going to let you get on out of here, back down to that TriStar Property Management Victory Lane. And I guess you also did set the Bird Rap's fastest lap of the race, so you got some money to spend over there. Before we do let you go, though, anyone else you want to shout out?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank Tyler Green and all the admins and race control, all you guys up in the booth. I want to thank Florida Academy, Enchanted Oaks RV Park, Vermont Diecast, BirdWraps.com, Rebel Racing Network, My World of Whiskey, TriStar Property Maintenance, TriStar sponsored the race. I don't know if I was meant to say that. I'm reading off a list here. I want to thank my teammates over at Slightly Dangerous Racing. That's 4 in a row to start the season. Jeremiah Nelson, Fred Pennington, Al Likens, Christian Rhodes when he shows up, and we got Jason and Rob. They're new to us, so I appreciate them boys wanting to come over and hang out with us and learn a little bit. And feel like I'm forgetting something. Thank you boys again. I want to thank my wife, of course. I love you. You probably won't watch this, but I love you anyway. Got to shout you out, and I appreciate it.
All right, we appreciate it, buddy, and congratulations again.
Yes, sir. Y'all enjoy it, man. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, buddy. And once again, the Florida Academy Cup Series will be going to Indianapolis next week. We'll get you the full rundown on our schedule coming up. Before we do, though, we have to run through our official results here tonight. And once again, Dylan Picklesheimer taking home the win. Brian Macklin going to come home second tonight. Trevor Quisenberry in third. Jeremiah Nelson will finish 4th. Trevor Yates in 5th. Al Likens finishes 6th. Tristan Haynes comes home 7th. 8th was Michael Prince. 9th will be Joshua Riddle. Thomas Lavierde going to come home 10th. Richard Smith in 11th. Dave Mayberry in 12th. Dalton Gibson comes home 13th. 14th was Corey Rainey. 15th will be Eric Rodeman. In 16th, we have Seth LaCroix. Nicholas Warner comes home 17th. 18th was Madeline Jackson. Coming home 19th will be Alan Hess. Chet Sellers finishes 20th. Christian Rhodes in 21st. Mike Hill will finish 22nd. Storm Strube in 23rd. Stephen Alessi finishes 24th. Fred Pennington finishes 25th. Josh Edmonds in 26th. Rob Robertson comes home 27th. 28th was Jason Werbesquez. 29th will be Corey Yoakum. Dawson Price finishes 30th. Tyler Green comes home 31st. Tyler Hurt in 32nd. Dalton Gregson comes home 33rd. Daniel Holloway will finish 34th after being DQ'd, unfortunately. And rounding out your field and not making the start was Wesley Carter in 30. He will be scored 35th. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe button wherever you were watching, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. And if you're watching one place, go ahead and hop over to the other broadcast and hit a like, follow, subscribe there as well. We appreciate you guys very much, especially everyone up in the chat and y'all watching at the Wicked Pub. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back next Thursday evening. We will be live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, going live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But before that, we do have the exciting conclusion to the Era Cup Series coming to you Sunday night at 8 p.m. Once again, they are going to be at Homestead Miami Speedway for their season finale. And then next Wednesday night, we will have the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live from Chicagoland Speedway for the Lucky Dog Diecast 165. That will also go live at 8:30. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you back here Sunday night.